lovely special guest.
I kind of want to be a fuck up for like a little bit in my life.
I feel that.
She's an actress, she's a comedian, she's an entrepreneur, a multi-hyphenate. Jasmine!
We here on the Gemini Soulcast.
We just got to the good part already because Ja.
I could have had imposter syndrome. Like, oh my God, what is like a little Puerto Rican girl from the South Bronx doing over here?
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gemini Soulcast. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Sin.
And my goodness, we have a lovely special guest for today. She's an actress, she's a comedian, she's an entrepreneur, a multi-hyphenate, a Boricua, a Latina, you know what it is. Please give a warm welcome to our incredible guest, Jasmine.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I love that intro.
How you feeling today?
I feel good. Nice Saturday morning. The weather's good, you know, ready to chit chat, cut it up.
Hey.
I know.
This
is a good time.
It is a great time. Yeah. We feel good vibes already from you. We originally met at the New York Latin American Film Festival. You were doing a panel there, right? And something I just want to mention before we dive into the questions was just how generous you were. Because you had great questions for all the panelists. Afterwards, you were just chatting around, and we obviously want to talk to you as well. And for me, I just felt I had a great impression of you because you really took your time to just talk to us. And we may have questions and you answered them. And there's even a point when somebody had to pull you aside so you could film something else. And you literally told us, hey, hold that thought. I got to do this thing real quick. And then I'm going to come back to you. Sometimes people just say that just so they could do the other thing that they have to do and just ghost you. But you were very nice and you came back.
I did. I remember.
You're a woman of your word.
I am. But also, I mean, you guys seem very passionate, and I love that you have your own podcast and you're already 2 seasons in on your 3rd season. And I just like being around passionate people. And I used to podcast for a couple of years, and I had to learn everything by myself. So, if I have someone asking me a question, like, I want to help because I know it's hard doing that stuff by yourself. Yeah, I've been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that when it comes to being like a creator and actor, at least for myself, like sometimes it could feel like you're doing this all alone by yourself, right? Like, I guess like my first question is, how do you balance all that?
Yeah. Balancing is hard, but at the same time, it's like different pieces of whatever it is that you're doing have different moments. So sometimes I'm doing way more content creation than acting. Other times I'm working on more acting projects than I feel like I'm doing comedy for, online. And other times I'm, putting a lot of energy into my coffee business. So I think everything has its season, and it's hard to give everything the same amount of love at the same time. I don't really think that's how I balance. I think I lean into one thing really hard, and then, I do the next thing and do the next thing. And oftentimes people have always told me like, oh, just focus on one thing. And I'm sure if I did just focus on one thing, that one thing would be amazing and probably take off further than wherever it is right now in either one of those directions. But I really enjoy doing multiple things. So for me, I'm like, well, I want to do multiple things. So I think just trying to be easy on myself and not be, too hard, telling myself you have to do more of this one. Like I'm doing all of the things. Let me just be a little nice to myself and juggle all of them as best I can.
Giving yourself grace.
Yeah, a little grace.
I feel like we were just talking about.
We were talking about that. Yeah. I have a question for you too. Like, so what was it like for you? Like, because I know you had a 9 to 5 before.
Yeah.
What made you take the leap?
So I have been wanting to take the leap for so many years. Like years. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, I want to do this 9 to 5. I hate corporate America, and I just wanted to do my own thing for so long. And I finally took the leap because I had to take the leap. Literally my job, they were planning this overseas trip. So I would have had to do my job in South Korea and be there for 2 weeks I was at the time doing product development. So I would have been talking to different people in the industry, negotiating the cost of buttons and threads and colorways and, everything I was doing. And I didn't even want to be doing it in my house, working from home, let alone hopping on a plane and being in another country doing it for 2 weeks. So at first I was excited for the trip, and then I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this trip. And I just knew I couldn't do that trip. I was like, I'm not going to do a good job because I don't even want to be there. My brain was just too kind of mumbo jumbled. Like I just felt like I was losing it. I was losing it. I was like, I can't do it. Now, earlier that year, I had taken a part-time job in addition to my full-time job. So that allowed me to rack up a nice little bag so that when I quit, I let them know, listen, I can't go on this trip. And, I'm going to put in my time. But it wasn't like a 2-week thing. I was like, I'm leaving in 3 months. I just needed to let them know because I didn't want to accept the responsibility of going on that trip and then, end up leaving the company. I would have kind of just felt bad, not me having guilt about corporate America, but you know what I'm saying? I still had a team of people I respected.
Project manager.
I liked my boss. I thought she was really cool. I liked other people on my team. So I didn't want to leave them hanging either. So I just let them know. And then, I finally made the leap. It was kind of like a move up in the company or get out. And I was like, all right, it's my time to get out. So then I quit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think about leaving every day.
Yeah, that was me.
From your 9 to 5.
From my 9 to 5. Yeah, I did it, and then I wound up going back.
And there's no shame in going back. Some people do go back.
But I don't have it in me to stay there.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I'm being honest.
Also, I just feel like corporate America they're not really making a good case for themselves for people to stay. Like I just came across a girl on TikTok and she was like, I could have stayed in my finance job making 6 figures, but instead I got a server job serving cocktails where I'm still making 6 figures. And I'm like, she's like, I work 4 days a week, I serve cocktails, and I make like $600 a shift. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Corporate America needs to step it up.
Because I think there's a lot of people out here who maybe they're at their job, they want to find a way out. And what you kind of described was like, it wasn't just like a dreamy thing of like, oh, okay, I'm just going to quit and just see where it goes. Yeah. You planned it.
Yeah, I'm a very type A person. Like, I got receipts for everything. Like, I plan shit out to a T. So I knew how I wanted to quit. And then it was so crazy how it happened because I had a comedy show that I did like in November of the year prior to me quitting. And I met someone there that was like, wait, oh my God, you're in corporate America? You're not doing this full time? I'm like, no, I wish. And she was like, okay, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I did buying for a while. Now I'm in product development. And she's like, oh my God, I have a company. What if you did product development for me? And I was like, you know what? Let's kiki. Let's chit chat. So that's why I started that part-time job. And I was doing like marketing for them and trying to transition this label into being like a standalone brand. And so I planned that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this part-time job and I'm going to save a bunch of money because I'm type A, I didn't just want to quit with like not having a nice little safety net of money.
Right.
So I ended up quitting. I wanted to quit regardless, but I kind of got pushed out of that job because, again, I didn't want to take that trip. So I ended up quitting, and it just kind of all worked out because then I had this little bag, but then I got laid off from that job. So then I like the universe kind of just forced me to have no job because I got laid off from the part-time job. So then, and that was a surprise. And then I was really freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't plan this part. I'm type A. I plan everything. But I'm also a survivor, and I will always land on my feet. So I made it work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
that was
that.
tough. That was really tough. I was like freaking out. But then like I had this choice, right? Where I'm like, damn, do I go back to a 9 to 5 or do I just figure this shit out? Like being an entrepreneur, making content. And I was like, I don't want to go back to a 9 to 5. So then for like 3 months, maybe more than 3 months, I just made content. I think it was like 4 or 5 months. I just made content. And then January 1st hit, and then I was like, fuck, I need to start applying to jobs. I applied to jobs. I did all these interviews, made so many last round interviews, and never got the job. And I was like, I think the universe just wants me to keep doing my thing. So then I kept doing my thing. And I just had to keep figuring it out. And now I'm doing great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know when I first left my 9 to 5, remember? I was like, I did the same thing though. I looked to see how much I had saved, and I'm like, all right, this will get me by for a little while, because I was doing content creation too, but like mostly like on TikTok and working with brands and stuff like that. And then I remember like, you know, all right, I'm gonna leave by my birthday. This is it. This is when I'm leaving. And then I start questioning.
Yeah.
Am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, universe, am I doing the right thing? And then they're like, oh, well, here's a bonus. And I was like, oh, right? Remember, I was like, oh no, that's it. She's like, why are you not trusting me? Like, here's some more money. Get out of there.
Yeah.
And I did it. I left.
Nice.
And I did it for like 7 months though.
Yeah,
and
you did well
then
with that.
this job came along, something I manifested like when I was
Okay,
in my
good.
20s.
Okay,
work,
but
like,
you manifested it.
I did, and
now
it
you
came in
trying
now.
it out. It's okay, better late than never.
That's right.
That's how I felt. I was like, oh, well, it came in now, so I'm just going to see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's cool, but I also know, and I say this to Rob all the time, I know that this is temporary. This is cool, but I have other things that I need to do because my soul just keeps pulling on me. Like, you got to do this. You got to do this. So, yeah.
I love how you had all these plans, and then the universe is like, nope. That's
Literally, yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
and that I feel like that'll really happen when you do manifest, you know, and because when you manifest something and kind of go against yourself, maybe like it comes and you're like, no, actually I'm not ready for it. But if you really are ready for it, I think the universe will just throw you in it. And I feel like that's what happened with me. And all the different times that I've tried to like go back and be like, no, I'm going to apply for some stuff again. It just never worked out. So I'm like, there's no way, because I'm smart as fuck. I'm a great interviewer. I'm like, there's no way I'm not getting these jobs because I'm not that girl. You know? I'm definitely that girl. So I just felt like the universe was just like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. So that's why I'm going to just keep doing that.
How do you... I remember last time we chatted in person, you had like a tattoo that said faith.
No, it says you manifest,
you
what
manifest
you are. But
you
yeah,
manifest what
same
you are, right?
sentiments.
The same idea of like trusting in the universe, and like you were listening to the signs. Okay, jobs weren't working out. This other thing that I thought was gonna line up didn't line up. I guess it's time for me to just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Was there any point where you had self-doubt in this? And then how do you combat those inner voices?
Yeah, like that imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah, self-doubt, definitely. I definitely have moments of self-doubt. I try not to sit in them because as a spiritual person, I feel the more you sit in that low frequency, just nothing good is going to come from there. So I drown my self-doubt with delusional self-belief as much as possible. So when I do have those moments, I'm like, oh my God, like how could you think something like that? And then I just gas myself up like, you are the best. You are the one. And it's crazy because I by no means strive to be the best. Like that's not my goal. I just want to do what I, find joy in and live off of that. That is my goal. And by all means, I'm doing that right now. So whenever the self-doubt creeps in, I just drown it in delusion. In terms of imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome, I've actually never had that. And I really sympathize for people that do. Okay. But it's never existed within myself. Any room I walk into, I know I belong in that room. I work to get in that room. And I'm not going to let myself or any outside voice make me feel like I don't belong there. And when I think about that, it automatically makes me think of like college. I feel like a lot of people have imposter syndrome when college starts rolling around. And, I went to high school in the South Bronx, but then I ended up going to Barnard. And I could have had imposter syndrome. Like, oh my God, what is like a little Puerto Rican girl from the South Bronx doing over here, around this prestige, I guess. But that was by no means my thought. My thought when I stepped on campus was like, oh my God, this is exactly where I belong. Because I think a lot of imposter syndrome has to do with how you view yourself. And I've always viewed myself as an intellectual, as someone that was really smart, someone that loved learning. So I was finally at this institution full of people who loved learning and was like on their nerd shit. And I'm like, that's my vibe. In my high school in South Bronx, love it there. I felt very much at home there. I really, really love my high school. But not everyone there wanted to learn. Not everyone was like a nerd and obsessed with learning. A lot of people were just graduating to graduate because they knew that that you were supposed to graduate.
Right.
But when I stepped into college, I'm like, oh yeah, I belong here. And I feel like that's when a lot of people get the imposter syndrome. I just never had it because I've always been that gassed. So really, you just gotta live in delusion. And I know a lot of successful people say it, but like, no, you really have to live in delusion.
Did you have people around you, like say when you did decide to leave that 9 to 5, did you have family or friends saying like, what are you doing?
I didn't tell my family.
Oh.
Because I could have told my mom, but she would have just threw her doubts at me, and I'm a very spiritual person, so I feel like that, you know, is not going to manifest positivity in my life when people are constantly worrying about you. So I didn't tell her for like over a year. She found out on Instagram the same way everybody else found out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no. And she don't even be on Instagram like that. So by the time she saw, I was like, oh no, Ma, I got a different job. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
You know, finesse that. But yeah, I just didn't tell anybody that I thought would worry about me. I only told people that I knew would be happy for me.
Yeah. I feel that because I didn't tell my mom either. Because she'll be
and
like,
you're way more grown than me.
She'll be calling me like, what do you mean? Like, did you find a job? I don't need to hear all that. Like, let me just do my thing and figure this out on my own. But yeah, I was just curious, like if you have friends around you. I try to surround myself with positive people too. Yeah. Especially when it comes to manifesting. Too many people project their fears onto you. They try to tell you something, you know, and it's like, no, I don't want to hear this. I know what I'm doing.
You need to manifest by yourself. You need to like, and I know people say move in silence. I'm not really a move in silence girly. I'm gonna be honest. When I'm doing something, I let the world know, like, bitch, we out here. We doing this, and this. But like when you're like manifesting something that you know is super delicate, I really think you just have to like keep that energy to yourself.
Agreed.
And, you know, keep that faith alive because other people's doubts will definitely creep in if you let it. But yeah, no, I just didn't tell nobody that I thought was going to dampen my parade.
I love that. Do you ever have moments when, say, as you're evolving as a person, the certain people that you either grew up with or that you're friends with, that you feel like you've outgrown them? And then, like, do you ever find yourself where you have to, I wouldn't say like cut people off, but then like set boundaries with certain people because you know you're going on a certain path that's like a lot higher, and they might want to just stay the same.
Yeah. When it comes to friends and stuff, I don't really cut off friends unless we had like some really big falling out, which, you know, that's, I don't know. I don't think that's happened maybe 2 times in my whole life. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really cut off friends. And I'm the type of person that like the love kind of stays the same, even though time moves on. I don't really lose love for people. But yes, do you outgrow certain friendships? Of course, I think that's part of life. That happens all the time. But I don't necessarily think that means that love is lost.
Right.
So yes, sometimes, you know, the people who I hung out with 8, 9, 10 years ago, and, you know, it's probably different than who I'm hanging out with now. And it depends on also, you know, your career. So I'm going to spend a lot more time with my friends that also make content, you know, than my friends that I used to dance with when I was, you know, a dancer. So not a stripper, like hip hop dancer, y'all. I don't want to confirm.
Just in case.
Clarify.
To set the record straight.
Yeah, to set the record straight. But like I used to be a dancer, and then I hung out with those friends all the time because we were always dancing together. But now that I'm doing content and, you know, comedy and stuff like that, I hang out more with content friends and comedian friends. So I think like that happens throughout life. Naturally, yeah. So I don't really think anything in terms of like setting boundaries. I haven't had to do that. If anything, I feel like that is more applicable to like kind of your immediate family type stuff, at least in my dysfunctional family life. But yeah. I think that answers it. I don't want to get too messy.
I feel that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's switch gears a little bit though. Okay. Let's talk about your coffee.
Yeah.
Your coffee line. Yeah. What made you take that on?
That's kind of crazy. So I had someone reach out to me that was like, hey, I follow you. I think you're really dope. I think you're cool. I think you're smart. You're from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I have a coffee roaster. And like, would you like to have your coffee brand? I'm like, I drink coffee every day. Why not have a coffee brand? So then I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And so I, you know, developed this brand for like a year and a half and figured out which beans I wanted to bring in. But they're doing all the coffee work. You know, my partner does all the coffee work. So I really just have to do the brand building and the marketing and the sales. So that is just a great, easy partnership. And that I feel like is one of those moments where it's kind of like you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
And when I started to make content online and gain a large following, like my goal has always been and continues to be to attract someone that is going to put me on TV. You know, I really would love to be in a sitcom or like a comedy movie, like Seth Rogen type movie, Tina Fey, like that's my vibe, okay? So I just want to make content and have as many eyes as possible on me because I know it'll bring opportunities like that. Okay, that's like my belief. But I guess it brings other opportunities too. You know, I've gotten content gigs just because I have a large following. People are like, oh my God, girl, I love you. You should work with this company, whatever. Right. Or something like this. Someone being like, girl, you mad cool. Like, let's work together. Let's have this coffee brand. So that's how it came about. You know, I drink coffee every day and someone was like, hey, do you want to like build something? And I said, okay, sure, let's do it.
I love that.
Yeah. Me too. I love coffee.
Yeah. I mean,
cafecito.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? So now I have Moments Coffee and I'm actually working on the special edition, like limited run of like the holiday brew. So I'm going to drop it in early November, probably for the 1 year anniversary. So.
Okay, nice.
Watch out for this.
Yeah.
The holiday special.
Yes.
Wow. When it comes to like, I know we talked about, you know, being a content creator, sometimes you're just doing things alone or being an actor. With partnerships, obviously it's like a different type of mindset. Like how do you approach partnerships and things like that in general? Is it more of like a vibe? Or do I gotta like kind of like do some research on you? Do I gotta talk to you multiple times? And like what is that working relationship like for you?
Yeah. I think it depends. When it comes to like working with other content creators, I think it's definitely like a vibe.
Yeah.
Like, do I like your content? Do I think you're funny? You know, when I first started working with like Rose and a bunch of other creators that I've worked with, I just really liked their vibe. I thought they were really funny. I liked their content. I thought they were talented. So I'm like, yeah, of course I want to work with you. But there's other people that are talented and you know, maybe their content just doesn't hit as much to me. So we haven't worked together. So when it comes to like that, I would definitely say it's a vibe. But I think anyone you do business with, you want to make sure you vibe with that person. You want to make sure that there's some air of trust with that person. So whether it's that or, you know, my manager or my agent or my coffee partner, I do like to make sure that like the energy feels good. And also understanding that like you want everyone to win in whatever it is that you're doing. So if we're making content together, you know, I want us both to get something out of that. And that could be said for anything. You want it to be a win-win.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are these things that you feel you manifested when you decided to go all in as a content creator? Do you feel like how your life is right now is in alignment with like what you wanted or any future goals that you may have?
Definitely. I think I've manifested everything I have right now.
Hey.
I love
100%.
Yes.
Yes, I do think I'm in alignment with what I've always wanted to do. I will also say though that, you know, for example, like getting gigs with brands and stuff, that was never like on my to-do list. So that has actually turned into my 9 to 5. So that, like, you know, your 9 to 5 gives you the money to fund your dream, right? So content gigs give me the money to fund my dream, which is to continue being self-employed and to, you know, continue making funny content and continue getting like acting gigs and commercials and stuff like that. So that's not something that I planned on, but I am happy that it is happening this way, and I do still think I manifested that in a way. So that one was a little surprise.
Was the coffee brand also something that was?
The coffee brand, that was a surprise too. I wasn't manifesting a coffee brand. Like that never popped into my head. But it was something that I felt like made sense because I do drink coffee every day. So I was like, you know, why would I not do that? That's like somebody saying, hey, do you want to have a nail polish company? I'll do everything, just drop the name on, you know, like, and that happens all the time. Like you have creators that there was, God, I think Who Wear What, something like that. That's when Who Wore What, Who Wear What, something like that. I don't know. I don't really know these people. But I think that person started like as a TikToker and ended up having this clothing line. And there are other TikTokers and just people who have created content there was one girl that she was complaining about sizing not being inclusive, and then she got her own denim brand at like some denim thing, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm lacking all details, but I know these stories and I don't remember the details. But I remember the point that when something aligns, it might be a surprise. You know, just say yes. You never know what could happen. So I felt like that when the coffee opportunity arose, because I'm like, you know what? That is aligned. I do drink coffee. I love coffee.
Right.
Also, I'm Puerto Rican. I know my people love coffee. And
That's
why
right.
would I not do that? Yeah, that's awesome. Let me see where this goes. So I think there's, you know, in life you have to manifest, but I think you have to leave room for discovery as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's like there's a balance there. You can be at a point where you are so like, no, I need to make this happen, and you control everything to the point where you actually close the doors of opportunity for yourself that could be there if you were not so strict. So for me, I want to make sure that like I'm flexible enough to leave room for discovery.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I get that way sometimes where like, if I want to manifest it, sometimes I want it so bad that I then might miss out on something that the universe is trying to hand me.
Right.
And it might not be anything that I thought about, but it's kind of what you're saying yes to things. And walking through that open door.
Right. And not being so closed off, even energetically. You know, there are a lot of people that get tunnel vision. I'm not a tunnel vision person. Like, I'll do something, but I'm always looking around.
Right.
You know what I mean? and not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
Some people have a project and then they like close the world out and they just go hard on that project. And listen, I respect that because I don't do that because I think that's really hard. But also it's just, I don't know. I like leaving space for things unexpected to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like you follow your intuition a lot.
You know what? That came after years of not following my intuition.
Oh.
So now I have learned about my intuition, and I've learned that it is amazingly great. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very intuitive.
Yeah.
And I think for why I didn't follow it, and now I'm in a space where I'm like, every time I follow it, like good things happen. So I need to keep doing that.
Yeah, it's like your inner GPS, as I like to call it. It's your inner GPS. And with that, it's... Damn, what was my question? Here I go.
Your inner GPS... like you're straight.
Oh, okay. So with your journey up till now, are there things that you learned about yourself that maybe you didn't realize before?
Yeah. I learned that... I guess I kind of knew it, but I learned it more deeply that like I really love working with other people. I like to collaborate on something and watch it come to fruition, but I like when it took a lot of people to do it. So like, yes, I love making content alone that like is great and people love it and it'll go viral, whatever. But there's something I think so magical about making content with other people and then that content blows up. Like the Bodega Baddie video I did. That was so fun. And I had that idea and I'm like, damn, I gotta make this happen. I gotta make this happen. So I just started hitting people up like, would you be down? Would you be down? Would you be down? And then it came together and like there was so many different ideas. Like someone was like, oh, you gotta do this. Oh, we gotta do this. Oh, get this shot. And then it ended up being like this magical thing. And I think that is so much more rewarding to me than if I had made a video by myself in a bodega throwing ass that went viral too, because you know that'll go viral too. But I'd much rather have the one that focuses on having other people involved in the vision. So I really like working with other people. I learned that it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur. Like you really have to hold yourself accountable because no one is there to make sure you're getting your work done. Yeah. So writing a lot of to-do lists, making sure I check stuff off and trying to just stay focused. I think a lot of creative minds have problems with focus. So I try to stay focused. It sounds like yes. And that could be tough, especially like I just said earlier, I'm juggling all these things. It's hard to stay focused sometimes. But I think I'm getting better with that since I have no choice. So that's something I learned about myself too.
That's probably a good thing because I'm always like, I mean, we bounce stuff off each other
all the time.
I mean, we're really good friends and we bounce a lot of stuff off each other. But I'm always like, I need to get organized.
Yeah.
I need to get organized. Like, how do I do this? And he's just like, sit.
Yeah.
But then he'll tell me, oh my God, I feel that. I'm all over the place right
yeah.
now. It's like hard.
And sometimes you are all over the place because you have a lot going on and you just get overwhelmed, like most people. That's very normal. But it's really important to be organized. Now, I'm an organizational queen, so I thrive in the organization area. Sometimes execution is where I'm like, oh, I just got to get this done. I just got to do it. I got to execute. But I am an executor, but like I'm a manifester, but I also like do the thing.
A manifester generator.
I'm a manifest generator. I am my human design. I'm a
Me
manifest
too.
generator. All of us, we out here. But yeah, like execution, I think is the hardest part, because that's the part of taking the idea and making it real, making it tangible, making it digestible to yourself and the outside world.
Yeah, no, I hear that, because we could fall. There could be a trap that we fall into called the planning graveyard.
Yeah.
Where you're just planning. I gotta make everything perfect, that you don't even take that first step.
Right. And I'm not about perfection.
Right.
Like there are some videos that like I'll throw up that go viral. I would have never known they go viral, and it took me 30 seconds to make, and I just didn't give a damn. So I'm just like, oh, let me just throw it up. Could I have made it better? Absolutely. But I don't like getting caught up in the how can I make this better? How can I make this better? Sometimes I do, and I'll like spend a long time editing a video to make it like perfect, and I like doing that. But at the same time, sometimes I don't. So, balance. Right. Don't overthink everything.
Did you find yourself like focusing on following and like numbers ever?
No, I don't really care.
Good.
That's something like,
I like to hear that.
And I try to tell people like 1,000 feels the same as 180. Like for real. It's nice to have a large following, and because it brings opportunity and money. But, and listen, God forbid, if it disappeared, I'm gonna be crushed, because then I do gotta go get a job, like a 9 to 5, But I think you can't focus on the numbers. You just have to focus on doing what you enjoy, and the numbers will come. People want to go watch people and enjoy people and consume people who make what brings joy.
Right.
Or education or whatever. Education and entertainment. You got to do one of the things, right? But no one wants to watch someone that it feels really calculated, and because then that kind of takes the joy out of it. So you can't be too serious about what you're doing to the point where like it sucks the joy out. Be serious about it, but don't suck the joy out of it.
I think this is a big one too, especially when it starts off as something like a hobby or something that you do on the side. Once it becomes like a full-time job, sometimes it could feel like a job.
Yeah.
And maybe like a chore, like I have to get those things done. But I like what you said, that even though there are things that you have to do, whether it's like brand partnerships and it feels like a 9 to 5, like you should still have fun doing it no matter what. Because I feel like people could also see it when you're filming on camera, when you're putting it out there, like the vibe, the energy that you're putting into this video. People could resonate with it naturally.
Right. Like I just did this thing for like the New York Lottery. I love making that video. I had so much fun making that video, and I thought it was so cute. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, that was cute. And I had my friends reshare it. I didn't tell them to, they just did it.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, cute. They don't reshare everything.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, they really like that one. But I had a lot of fun doing that one. And I think, people could feel stuff like that, like you said. If it was just, something I'm doing for $1, I don't think people would like it, which is why I try to take brand deals that align. I don't want to do one that does not align, because I think people are always going to be able to smell bullshit. Right. So I really try to do the fun ones.
That was going to be my question too. Has there ever been a brand that approached you and you're like, I can't do that?
I say no to stuff. Yeah, 100%. Whether it's like I'll have like I've had like supplements reach out to me, but I don't feel comfortable making a video or promoting anything that is like really ingestible. Like a weed gummy, I'll support it. An alcohol, I'll support it. Or those are things people do just for recreation. But to be like, here, take this iron supplement or whatever, I'm like, I don't know. That just doesn't feel good to me. Yeah. I also don't take supplements. I probably should take some vitamins, but should I? I don't know. Maybe because you kind of supposed to, but also like I kind of don't take them. Yeah. So I don't really know what to trust. I'm not a doctor on what's going in people's bodies. So yeah, if it's for something fun, like, alcohol, some weed, cool. Right. But anything outside of that, I usually say no to. That's just an example. But yeah, I say no to stuff. Yeah. Or this other like booby thing, it was like, it's supposed to make your boobs look like 2-3 times larger than they are. It's some type of sticky bra. And I'm like, No, I'm happily part of the itty bitty committee. I don't wanna post the thing that's like, oh my God, make your boobs look even bigger. Like, no, girl, I'm an itty bitty girl. Like, it's okay. So that's also something that I didn't feel comfortable promoting because I'm like, I don't want to promote that message that your boobs need to look bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say no to stuff.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I also know that as a content creator, sometimes you have to be careful with like what you're putting out there. But something that I love about what you do is that you're very authentic, whether it's something in comedy or even in something political too. Like you've brought up stuff about that as well. And I think you mentioned something about how it just exposes certain people.
It does.
Things. Like,
I just did something with Zoran and I lost 200 followers that day.
What?
And that's fine. I gained 100 also. So, you got to get it gives and take. But I think, at least for me, like I'm a very opinionated person. Right. And I'm always run my mouth about whatever it is I feel like I want to run my mouth about. So I can't be one of those creators that's like, oh, I don't do politics. Like I do politics. I think I used to say like I'm not a political person, but yeah, no, I think I am a political person. I think that's something I've realized over the past like few years. At least I would have never labeled it that way. I guess now I'm like, oh, I guess I could take on that label. But yeah, no, I definitely have stuff to say and I'm going to say it.
And I think sometimes, at least in society, we could label it as political when really it's just human rights.
Right. And
humanity.
Right. And so I always thought of like political, like when someone labeled themselves as political, it's because they wanted a career in that. Or like, I don't know, I kind of always defined it in terms of like a career. But a lot of things are political that you would never think is political. Like I saw this video once, she was like, girl, the toilet paper you use to wipe your ass, that is political. And I'm like, but actually it is. Like Charmin cuts down the Amazon rainforest so you can wipe your ass. Like that is so political. Everything is political.
Right.
So now I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm political. We out here.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
There's many people out there, like content creators that may not want to talk about certain issues because they're afraid that they might miss out on a brand deal.
Yeah, yeah.
But it seems that for you, it's like, as long as you stay authentic to who you are, the deals are going to come anyways.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm scared of missing on the brand deal too. You know, every time I post something, I'm like, oh, God. What if a brand sees it and they're like, actually, we don't want to work with her?
Yeah.
I'm scared of missing it too because I got to pay my rent just like everybody else got to pay their rent, and my shit's very expensive. So I have just as much fear as everyone else, but I think I really value autonomy. Yes. And I'm not willing to give up my autonomy. I'm not willing to silence myself, especially at a point where I feel like silence becomes harm. So that's just my perspective. I know not everyone thinks about that. Some people don't think silence is harm. Fine, whatever, float your boat if that's what you think. It's not true though. Right. But yeah, so for me, I'm just not willing to sacrifice my own voice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I love that. You mentioned you're like a spiritual person. So what are things that you do when you need a reset? Like, do you ever feel like, man, I'm all over the place. I need to ground myself. Or,
oh my God, yes. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys onto this playlist. Let me pull up the playlist. I want to make sure I get the right name. It's called Red Tent. Red Tent.
Let me make a note of this.
It's called The Red Tent - Soothe, right? And it's by Yabisi, aka Bread X Butter, Butta. And so I follow her and I think she's amazing. She's like a healer. Just, she's just very much woo-woo, spiritual vibes, all nice. She's Puerto Rican. She has like this nice little farm in PR where she grows like healing herbs and stuff like that. That's but sick. The Red Tent Soothe, that is my meditation playlist. So whenever I want to meditate, I just throw that on and I just sit there and breathe until I feel better. So yeah.
So meditation is your thing?
Yeah, then. I like meditation. It's crazy though because I fall off on it. I feel like meditation is something you really gotta like really stick with because it's so easy to fall off.
It is,
even though it makes every other aspect of your life better. Like when I meditate, I feel like I'm more clear-minded throughout the day. I have a better grasp on my own emotional state and how things are going to play out when I really think about it. But it's kind of the first thing to go when I get really busy. Oh, I can't meditate today. I'm too busy to meditate. But it's the one thing that I think impacts all areas, kind of like the gym.
Yeah.
So I try to always, I try to meditate as much as possible. And that is my meditation playlist. So when I need to reground myself, I love that playlist.
Red Tent.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Red Tent Soothe. I
try to meditate because I hear you with meditation too. Like I I used to say I try to meditate every day, but even the word try, I took that out.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I meditate every day. So, and I always try to do it in the morning, even if it's 5 minutes, but sometimes it could be 30 minutes and I'm just in it. And then once I feel good, I can move on with the rest of my day.
Yeah.
Same thing with going to the gym, or like, it's just things that I think helps you, especially when you have multiple things that you got to do and they're different.
Yeah.
You know, you got your coffee brand, you got your content, you got your acting, you're talking to your agent, your manager, and then you're doing podcasts right here. So like, you're doing so much.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like undiagnosed ADHD.
Right. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's important when you're doing a lot to have like that one thing that I think could bring you peace.
Yeah.
And I also love dancing. So dancing brings me peace too.
Hey,
Yeah.
love that. Things that bring you joy.
Yeah.
Things that light you up.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's definitely what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk a lot about spirituality too, like at least on this podcast. I feel like you carry that, you live it.
Thank you.
Some people talk about it.
Yeah.
You
You know, I
definitely
saw
live
your
it.
bracelets and I'm like, damn, I forgot mine today.
You have yours
I
too?
have these too. Yeah.
To ground yourself?
Different stones. I love them.
Sounds great. You have a bunch too.
I do. I'm wearing
Yeah.
one right now.
Yes,
But-
the crystal girlies are in the house. we
We're
here on the Gemini Soulcast with
You already
the
know how
crystal
it is.
bracelets.
Definitely. When it comes to like, you know, you've been doing acting, content creation, you know, you're very authentic to who you are. Is there like a project, or has there yet been a project that you're, ooh, I really want to do this type of thing right now? Is there something on the horizon for you where like, ooh, I would love to do XYZ?
Someone recently told me about a project that they've created it. They just haven't filmed it yet, which would allow, they were inviting me to play like a criminal.
Ooh.
And I was like, I would love to play a criminal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I really hope that manifests and comes to fruition. But yes, give me some Griselda Blanco type role. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
I want to do something like that. It's
That'd be sick.
more crime and drama, and you know, obviously I love comedy, but I feel like I would do so well in a role that's like, you know, I'm just doing some gangster shit. So yeah, I want to do a role like that. I'm trying to
Hell yeah.
manifest that.
Oh,
Like
that's
Money
great.
Heist too.
You know, yeah,
I
give
can
me
see
a
you
Money
doing
Heist
something
too.
like
You know
Money
what I'm
Heist.
saying? Give me some of that. Give me some of that. Let me play a villain. You know, I could be a Disney villain too. You know, I don't care. Just let me play a villain. I want to play a bad guy. Let me play a bad guy.
I love that.
What advice would you give like other actors? Because I know you kind of like when you wanted to do content creation and the acting. There's some actors that feel like I can't get into content creation.
Yeah, some people feel that.
Do you feel like it's similar in a sense? Like, does it matter?
I don't think it's similar. I think they're really, really different. I think actors need to act outside of content to really do good acting. Because, you know, content you home in your house. I actually saw this clip recently. There was, I guess, some content creator saying that, you know, he acts at home, he does content. And it was Denzel Washington that was like, no, if you want to be an actor, you got to get on stage. You can't learn how to act in your house by yourself.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I was like, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think they're really, really different, complete different things. But yeah, I would say advice to actors. I mean, I'm the one that needs advice. You know, I still feel very new in this. I would say find your people by doing what it is that you love. I think that's how you attract the people that are meant to help you on your journey and just be a part of your journey. You know, take an improv class.
Oh yeah.
I took an improv class. I love the improv class. Helps you think quick on your feet, but also you have like fun with it. It's like adult playtime in the sandbox type shit.
Yeah.
I really like that. So take an improv class, you know, take an acting class, and also watch a lot of master classes. I watched so many master classes. I taught myself so much and just soaked up that information. I think that's really important too. So like take yourself to school type shit. Yeah.
I love how you just keep learning.
Yeah. So whenever I feel stuck, I go learn something. That's like my rule to myself. So, and I found that whenever I do feel stuck, it's because there's something that I don't know, a piece of the puzzle. So, which is why I feel stuck and I can't keep going. I'm like, you know, people often say you have everything you need to succeed. Right? But when you feel stuck, I feel like there's something else you need. So I always like think, how can I learn what do I need to learn? So there was a point where I felt stuck, and I was in 2020. I'm like, I'm gonna go learn. So I did masterclass. I have listened to so many masterclass, taken so many notes, did all the homework, every single homework assignment. I did them all, specifically because I felt stuck, and then that helped me get unstuck. So yeah, whenever you feel stuck, think, okay, for this, talent that I'm trying to curate and grow and get better at, what do I need to learn to be better at that? Go do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
What were some of the master classes that you took?
The first one I did was Issa Rae, and she's the one that got me to write my pilot, because she said, if you have this show idea in your head and you saw it on TV, and you would be really upset if it was on TV because you thought, damn, I know that should have been mine. I could do that. Then that means you need to go make it. So she's the one that got me to write my pilot. I love the Shonda Rhimes one. That helped me make my pilot better. I love the Duffer Brothers one, which I wish I had seen that earlier. It wasn't out yet, though. They gave a lot of tips that could have literally saved me like a year and a half of my life. And they said that we are telling you to write this outline because this outline is going to save you years of your life, because you will continue writing yourself in the corner if you don't have an outline. And which is very much what I did. And then I had to restart, right? So I watched that one. Steve Martin, I've seen some comedian ones.
Nice.
Yeah, a bunch of them. I don't remember the other ones, but I've seen so many.
Soaked it in.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you should be further along on your path, or are you one that feels like, no, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, right, I'm exactly where I need to be. If I should have been further along, then I would have been further along. But I'm not. So.
I think people need to hear that.
And I also think that.
Yeah.
I just think that there's like an entitled, whenever it's I should be, I just feel like there's so much entitlement wrapped up in that thoughts. Like, says who? Who said you should be further along? You're not further along. And
that's right.
You are the only one that needs to take accountability for that. Granted, let me run that back for a second. With a little grain of salt, because it depends on the industry, and some industries are very much like nepotism is the way, and you just cannot break into them, and it's really hard to do that. So give yourself grace if you're like, damn, I should be further along. I know I'm way more talented than these other people that I see in the room. Maybe you are, and I don't know. Who the hell knows what got them in that room? Maybe it's someone they know, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think I'm exactly where I need to be. Do I wish? I mean, who doesn't wish they were always further along, right? Do I wish I had a sitcom under my belt? Yes, hell fucking yeah. Do I wish I already pitched my show to, the networks I want to pitch to, HBO and Netflix or whatever? Yes, I do wish that, but I'm not there yet. And I'm not going to sit around and be salty about it.
Right.
I could keep trying to make that happen, or I could, just be complaining. I'm not going to complain.
Right.
So. Yeah.
I love that I feel you have such good self-awareness.
Oh, thank you. You know what? Not to toot my own horn, though. I think I do also.
Yeah.
But, okay, so there was this time in life, I call it my awakening, and it happened in like 2017. And I think literally it just, I don't know, something happened in my brain where I was like, oh my God, I became self-aware. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in this fucking cog. I was in corporate America for like a year and a half at this point, 2 years maybe. And I was like, oh my God, this sucks. And then like literally the self-awareness just hit me like a bomb. And I call it my awakening, because I realized that life is supposed to be, what you want it to be, not what happens to you. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for peeping. Thank you.
Recognize real. That's all.
Yeah. No. It's true. Yeah. I think, but I think self-awareness, I don't know. I wish there was a way that you could teach it and plant it in people. And I don't really know how to do that, but I feel like when it hits you, you kind of, you can't live the same once you realize like, oh, wait, no, I understand what life is supposed to be about. I'm only 32, so I don't really know what life is supposed to be about. But I think I know what it's supposed to be about. So I don't know.
You know a lot more than most 32-year-olds.
Yeah, I would hope so. But also, I think it's a generational thing too. I think Gen Z is going to know about things like that younger than I did.
Right.
I think every generation gets a little smarter too.
Right.
Yeah, and there's also like a level of, I think, privilege and almost luxury in being able to think about joy and stuff like that. Like I just think about our parents' generation. Like I'm sorry, self-awareness where? They didn't have the luxury of doing that. My mom was in survival mode forever. So, you know what I'm saying? Still there. So, you know, there's privilege that comes with being able to be like, damn, I want a life that fills me with joy. You know what I mean? In this capitalistic society, like that's a privilege to be able to focus on that. Yeah.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Right.
There,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just gotta get the basics, and after that, you can think about
right
fulfillment, love, dreams, all that. But
so,
if you don't
to get up there, you need to already have your basics covered. So I was lucky enough to have my basics covered to hit a point where I could be like, oh my God, I feel self-aware, and now I know that I want to do X, Y, Z with my life.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because like that self-awareness too, I felt during the pandemic, I felt that really taught a lot of people about self-awareness. I looked at it like, this is a lesson for the world right now.
Yeah.
Now you really have to focus on you. And some people kind of like, you know, went over that little line where they started becoming self-aware, and then some people reverted right back. You know, it just depends on you.
One of my favorite videos I ever made, back then you could only like post like a minute on TikTok. So it was like 5-6 minute videos that I did. But it was about people becoming self-aware in the pandemic, because for the first time they were not in their office, and now they had to work from home. So now they didn't have their friends in the office. They didn't have, you know, I don't know, that cute little bagel spot maybe that they went to every day. They were just home. And I think a lot of people realize, shit, wait, I hate this job. Because when you take away the frills and thrills that accompany a 9-to-5, whether it's like, I don't know, the free candy in the kitchen, you know, whatever it is that the 9-to-5 does to make you feel like you're doing something good.
The printing.
Yes, free printing, free paper shredding services. So whenever you take that away, I think a lot of people were faced with the harsh reality that they hated their jobs and they didn't want to do it, because now they're doing it in their house, and who the hell wants to do that?
Right.
And I think a lot of people became self-aware. At least for me, that's when I started doing comedy. So yeah, a lot of people, I feel like, were reborn during that time.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like for me, it was like, and I always say this too, but I just took advantage because I was able to just stay home and not do anything and get paid. But I turned like, I started going live and like conquering my fear of public speaking. Like I I used to do stuff like this, but not speak to like an audience. Not like that where there's a camera in front of you and people are speaking to you, you know, in real time. But I took that like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on me right now, and I'm going to do this. And I was very proud of myself. I still am. But, you know, it's kind of like that, like where it's up to you to like decide what direction you want to go in, or who you want to be, or what next level you want to get to.
Right.
And in saying that, like, what advice would you give like our audience, let's say, that maybe are in a 9-to-5 and they hate it, and now I want to make a move? Like, what advice would you give to them to do something like what you've created for yourself?
I would probably give the same advice that I did. You know, I would say, bust ass, get a part-time job in addition to your full-time job, and save enough money where you feel safer to quit. And then that way, you know, when you do quit, maybe you just have a part-time job. Then maybe you have the other part-time to do whatever it is that brings you joy and is fulfilling you. But let it be something that I think you could eventually morph into some form of entrepreneurship. I'm not saying quit your job so that you could go ride a bike around the park all day. You know, if that's your hobby, or run around. Like, let it be something that you could eventually turn into a job. But that's only if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you are like, I hate my 9-to-5, and you also don't want to be an entrepreneur, then you just got to get a different 9-to-5. Get one that, you know.
Sometimes just the company itself. Just change companies.
Maybe you just got to change companies. And not everyone is cut out for entrepreneurship life. Like, I have seen creators be like, I actually hate this and I want a boss again. It's really like being 100% in control of your own time. You learn so much about yourself. You learn so much about yourself. You're going to learn if you lazy. You're going to learn if you a bum, low key. You're going to learn if you are driven, self-motivated, if you're a team player. You're going to learn so much about your own character when you have 100% control of your time, and you realize, damn, what am I doing with my time when I could do anything in the world with it? So, yeah. You want to quit your job? First, realize, like, do you even want to be an entrepreneur? If not, then you just need to get another job.
That's right.
You know, maybe you want 2 part-time jobs that bring you joy instead of 1 full-time job that doesn't. there are a lot of different creative solutions that I think people need to brainstorm about before quitting their job. But if you do want entrepreneurship, just know like you better be able to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Disciplined.
Yeah.
Girl, I've been disciplined my whole life. I'm so exhausted. I am tired. I'm fed up. I'm tired of being disciplined. I'm tired of being responsible. I kind of want to be a fuck up for like a little bit in my life, and I don't have the luxury to do that. And I'm just like, damn, I'm tired.
Because you got to hold yourself accountable every time.
I've been holding myself accountable my whole damn life. I'm exhausted. But you know, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going.
Wow.
And she's only 32.
I'm only 32.
You have a very old soul.
Everyone tells me that. It's because I grew up too fast. You know, I had too much responsibility, way too young, responsible for myself, and I don't know. I feel like I was the glue of my family.
Yeah.
And you know, I had one of those moms that never shielded you from the truth. So I always knew every single problem going on. So that is going to make somebody grow up fast because you're aware of all these problems that you shouldn't be aware about. But you know, that's another thing.
It just feels like you've been here a bunch of times. And now you're just here like, can we just get to the good part already? Because
I was literally talking to someone about this. I was talking about this recently. I'm like, ugh. I don't think I want to reincarnate as a person again. I believe in reincarnation. I'm like, let me be a bird. Let me be a cat. Let me be like a happy animal.
Right.
I just
don't
know if humanity, if being a human is really the vibe.
I get that.
Oh my God. I have said that so many times. I'm like, I'm not coming back. I will be a spirit guide, yo. Like, don't.
Right. Or maybe
I need a break.
Maybe you give me another role. Like,
I feel that.
I'm just like, the idea of doing this over and over and over.
I don't know. It seems like you're doing a pretty good job in this lifetime.
I think I've done it a lot, probably. That's just, I don't know. I think spiritually, it's crazy. I used to think like, am I a new soul? Am I an old soul? What do I feel like? And I don't really know, but I think I've been here before, just be based on how fed up I feel.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No wonder why I'm so organized now.
Yeah,
like, maybe in a past life I wasn't organized, and like now I got to learn that here. Like.
Yeah. And as a spiritualist, that's what I believe, that we come here to learn lessons. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm so sick of this relationship lesson. Like, I'm good with money, but when it comes to relationships, I'm like, nah, man. Nah. It's not it for me.
Those are, I think, the hardest lessons.
Yeah.
So,
anything like involved with like love is, I feel like, the hardest lesson.
Yeah.
Whether it's like family love, romantic love.
Yes.
Those are the hardest
friendships.
lessons.
Like, it's just
self-love.
Self-love too.
Yeah.
It's difficult. That's why I was like, choose yourself.
Because I think that's what humanity is really about. No one gives a fuck about the career lesson. Like, no one's on their deathbed thinking about, oh God, that lesson I learned about my career. And no one's thinking about that shit.
I should have signed that
contract. At the very
contract.
end, all that matters is like your love and relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? So yes, those are going to be the hardest lessons to learn.
Yeah. I feel everything goes back to love. 1,000%.
Yeah.
So,
I just finished the Bell Hooks book.
All About Love?
Yeah, that's the red one, right?
Love that one.
I love that book. So I'm listening to it for a second time. I actually want to actively listen to that book and take notes like I'm in school, because she be dropping some gems.
Yes.
And I'm like,
huge
girl.
gems.
Yes.
I remember reading that that chapter right at the beginning where it's like your first lessons of love come from home.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. And you know, it's crazy because like in college we had to read her, and I don't know if I just decided not to, but now as an adult, I mean, like I've read passages during like different classes in school, but now as an adult, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have paid attention and stopped partying so I could have read some more.
Hey, but maybe you from like in college wasn't ready to receive that information back
definitely
then
not ready to receive that. I was too immature. I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Get this book out of here.
I always feel that like the lessons and the messages that you're meant to learn it at that moment in time. And it can't happen any sooner. It can't happen any later. This moment is when you're learning certain things. We were talking about that too. Like your friend and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So everything has its time.
Yeah, and you need to learn it like some people learn well through other people.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm in an age where I can do that. But when I was younger, I think there have been people who have tried to give me lessons and I just ignored the lesson and then ended up learning it by myself. And I'm like, fuck, they were right.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I think I'm now finally at a space where I can learn lessons from other people's stories. Thank God, because I'm tired of learning them myself.
If you could go back in time to, let's say, like 15-year-old Jasmine, and maybe it's like on her quinceañera,
Yeah.
right? Or put it in that hypothetical situation, and you kind of like you're that little spirit that goes back in time, and you could give her any piece of advice or lesson.
Yeah.
What would you tell her?
First, I wish I had a quinceañera or a sweet 16. I did not. Fuck that.
Me either. Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. I will never forgive you.
It's hilarious.
Again, survival. Okay, no one was worried about my dumbass birthday party. Let's see. I think I would tell her to pursue the creative arts rather than pursuing a more academic or corporate routes. You know, I was in Barnard. I could have been a dancer. There's like a phenomenal dance department, or I could have taken theater classes and done acting stuff. And I didn't have the self-awareness at the time to realize that, you know, being a creative could be a career. And so many people were pushing me down, you know, a more academic route because I was so smart and you always got good grades. And, you know, everyone like saw me doing things that were of the mind, and not so much just like doing creative things. That also takes very smart people too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I was always very much pushed down this like academic corporate world rather than pushed towards to pursue the creative arts. So if I could tell my younger self, I would say, go be an artist in whatever it is that you want to do. You know, at the time I probably would have chose dance, but I also love to paint. So one day I plan to be a painter. Maybe when I'm in my 60s, 50s, something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe they'll come a little bit.
I got like 3 things I'm ready to do in my life. So I already got it planned out. Again, I'm type A. So this is what I want to be a painter at some point. Maybe have a farm at some point or some type of animal sanctuary. And I want to open a school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so those are like my 3 things. Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of school?
I wanted to be a school from like kindergarten through high school that has a very special curriculum focused on what actually makes the world better. And I wanted to be a school where teachers are looking to see where kids may naturally be inclined, like in which spaces, and helping them navigate, you know, their educational experience through that lens. You know, maybe you have a kid that's like a great artist and they love art class and they could really draw well or they could paint, but they hate math. Okay, so maybe that person is meant to be a creative person. So maybe their education, you know, curriculum has obviously all the basics, but maybe there are more art classes for them. Or maybe you have another student that's just really good at math, like so well inclined at math, naturally has this math gifts. Okay, maybe they take more math classes. You know, I think a lot of people have like little things that they may naturally gravitate more to. I think that's really important to see those things.
Like their gifts.
Right, little gifts. I think people naturally have gifts. That's not to say no, not everyone could be good at math or to, you know, throw it away for the other kids. But if you see a child with a gift, nurture it. Right. So I want to create a school that does that. Yeah.
It's kind of similar to, I guess, like not like a Montessori school, but like in those schools, like there are no tests. There's no like exams. You're not graded on stuff. It's just more about experiential learning.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Especially for a kid, because like, you know how like in our institutions growing up, it's always like you gotta go through your regents. You know, you got like exams, and then like if you don't do well, then you're a failure and everything like that. Like that does a lot to a kid's like psyche in terms of like what's considered valuable. You know?
And you know, so Quinta B, I love Quinta B. So she has a book that I'm in the process of reading. I'm like halfway done, but she speaks about how her educational experiences were so special. Like she went to this one school that they learned everything that you were supposed to learn in school, but they always did it through the lens of like Black empowerment and Black history. And eventually the school got shut down.
What?
And then she's like, She's like, isn't it crazy how you have this school that's like teaching Black history and empowering a bunch of Black children, and then the school gets shut down? Apparently that was illegal. So I'm like, fuck that. You know what I mean? So I want to create a school like that teaches the things that, you know, are actually going to change the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a dream. It's a dream of mine. I would love to open that.
You got a big heart.
Thank you. You know, I want it to be self-funded, but then it's kind of hard because, you know, there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. And that sounds like a lot of millions that I need to open that school. I just feel like when you take money from people, they feel like they own you, and I just don't want to ever be in that situation. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
I guess a couple angel investors and call it a day, maybe. You know?
Maybe.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Within this lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there has to be parents out there too that think that way.
Right.
Probably.
The way that you're saying it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I know me growing up, no. Like a lot of kids, it's like you have a dream or you speak on it and your parents are like, no, that's not what you have to do. You have to do this.
Yeah.
They try to tell you what to do with your life, which is why, like, for me with my daughter, I created that where, and you know how close Jade and I are.
Yeah.
Like, we're close. And
Like
she's
sisters
always
almost.
saying, like, you're the only one that's ever believed in me doing my acting and whatever else, because I never had that.
Yeah.
And I made sure I was like, if I ever have a kid, it's gonna be like this. And I've put a lot of work into that. So I'm sure there's parents out there that would love something like that.
Yeah. And I love that you had a parent. That you are a parent that is very supportive. I think a lot of parents have so much fear, again, that, you know, comes from the whole survival thing. And it's really important to tell people that they can do anything. Like, my mom always told me, like, you could do anything. But the minute I got older, I couldn't even tell her I quit my job. You know, because she's going to be like, you can't do that. So once I became an adult, the you could do anything kind of died. But as a child, she very much told me I could do anything.
Right.
So I think hearing that was, you know, very impactful. But that definitely didn't last forever.
So once you turn 18, it's like,
yeah, it's
right,
like, no,
be an
you
adult.
can't do that. You need to go to school. You need to get a job. You need to do da-da-da-da-da. You know, it wasn't so much as follow that dream.
Yeah, my mom is still like that, though. She'll be like, you let Jade do whatever. Jade is 31.
Right?
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean I let her? Like, I get this still to this day.
Damn. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It just shows that, like, no matter how old you are, like, our parents going to be our parents, your mom's going to be your mom, and that's just how it is. Like, that dynamic, that role, it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
And they're not going to change. So we just have to
They're
accept
not
that.
going to change.
Yeah.
Your parents are never going to change.
Never.
No.
No. But I think in a beautiful way, though, too, it's like, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be who we are now. And who we are is beautiful.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Of course.
So, yeah. But I just want to say, like, just like, because, you know, we're running out of time. We're ending things soon.
We're getting there.
You know, where could people support you? How can people support you? Where can people find you?
Yes. So if you want to find me, it's the Jasmine Ruiz on Instagram, the Jazz Ruiz on TikTok, JAS, and Moments Coffee. Go buy some Moments Coffee. Go to the website, momentscoffee.us. The Instagram is moments.coffee.nyc. And it's delicious. So if you want to support me, buy some coffee, go like my videos, and share my shit.
Like those videos, leave comments, share them.
Share it. Honestly, all I care about is shares, because that's
Engagement.
organic reach. Just share it. If something feels really good, you're like, damn, that's funny, that's relatable, go share it.
We love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
you.
blessing us with your presence.
No, thank you for having me. This is
Real.
a great conversation. Yeah, I really enjoyed
you're
myself.
incredible.
Thank you.
Really love it. Yeah. You're a beautiful person. Seriously.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
it. Thank you, guys. And congratulations on season 3.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. No, really. It's hard to stick to something for 1 season, 2 seasons. Y'all on 3 seasons. Let's get it.
It helps to have a good partner here.
Yes.
He holds me
you.
accountable too.
You know, shout out
so.
to the Geminis.
You know, we try.
You guys are great. You know, who's hanging on the Gemini?
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
saying
y'all
that.
doing great.
Thank you. Pisces, we love you guys too.
Yes,
you know?
thank you.
The heart, it's all about the feels.
Yeah. Y'all be in your feelings. Us too, though.
I'm always in my feelings.
You gotta be
We get
kind.
in our feelings too.
I have an ocean of feelings.
That's how it is. We're just swimming in it.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
You know? But yes, thank you everybody for tuning in. Obviously, we listen to all the comments, so please write down how'd you feel. Ask us any questions. We listen to all of them. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the whole deal. Once
Yeah.
again, my name is Rob.
And I'm Sin.
And this is Gemini Soulcast.